morning, everybody. I think we're just getting started. I don't know if it's come on live yet. I'm just going to check out on my phone because that's the best and easiest way for me to see if we're actually live. So, morning. How is everybody doing? I know it's just going to take a few minutes for people to jump on live. So, let me just get my headphones. How are you all doing this morning? If you are watching live, come and put your, raise your hand, let us know that you're here, put something in the comments so I can see that you're here, and tell us a little bit about your social enterprise. What is it that you do? Let's try and get some interaction. Let's kind of connect a little bit on this training. So let's see, have I gone live yet? I think I just need to go back and come back in. So welcome. For those of you that don't know me yet or are very new to the community, haven't watched one of these trainings, morning Rosa. My name's Kat Luckock. I'm a social entrepreneur coach. I'm passionate about helping you, the social entrepreneur or purpose-driven business owner, to actually achieve your dreams, to generate the income and wealth you need in your business, to actually have a sustainable, thriving social enterprise. For me, it's the most important thing that we create social enterprises that actually create a difference in the world. And I know for a fact that we can't do that if we're not actually generating the income that we need to create that impact. And for many social entrepreneurs and my clients, the people that I speak to, there's three kind of key components. There's often kind of some thought mindset blocks that are kind of in the way of them getting through, whether it's either increasing their prices, doing some of the things that they just need to do. There's some blocks there, whether it's fears or thoughts or mindset that's kind of just not allowing them to kind of shift forward. Often the second thing is not having really a clear business model, financial plan, or kind of what I call an income strategy. And we're going to talk a little bit about this today, but like, how are you actually generating income in your business? What's your plan to achieve that? What are your goals, etc., and getting really specific and focused on those things. And then the third thing is really about kind of the vision and what you're actually delivering and communicating and building relationships and building your audience, so that you can kind of have an audience to sell to, and how kind of measuring your impact, communicating your impact, but also having a really strong brand and business that kind of connects to people in a way that they want to be connected to. So for those of you joining live, or if you're watching on the replay, brilliant. Let me know that you're watching on the replay. That's fantastic. Morning, Rosa. Rosa's telling us that she fights racial and gender discrimination by providing workshops to identify our biases. Rosa, I love how specific that is. I love what you do. We've kind of been talking over the last couple of weeks, but it's amazing. But I particularly love how you've kind of really simplified that just for these purposes, which is really, really great. It's really to the point. So yeah, if you're joining us live or if you're joining on the replay, let me know that you're here. Tell us a little bit about your social enterprise. You'll get to see then the others that are here. You'll be able to connect with them. I'm just seeing again if I'm actually on the group. Well, obviously I'm, because Rosa can see me, but I can't see at the moment the comments coming up. So for some reason in the group, I'm not there yet. So we'll come back in a minute. So I really wanted to start off by asking you. Right, there we go. I need to turn that off. Morning. So we've got a few more people joining. So I wanted to start. If you can do your little intro, that'd be great. Oh, hi Julie, and Dean's here as well. Brilliant. So I had to be able to. It's really difficult now. You might be seeing this if you're doing Facebook Lives. When I'm doing Facebook Lives on my laptop, the comments don't always come up straight away or don't come up at all, which is why I also have to have my phone to kind of look through who's there, what's coming up, etc. So apologies for that. But what I wanted to start with this morning is, how are you feeling? Might feel a little bit strange, but I want to sort of say, how are you feeling about running your business today, working in your business today, working towards your goals? How are you feeling generally? Are you excited about working today? Are you feeling energized, or are you feeling a bit like things just aren't working quite well this week, or I haven't really had any sales and I'm not feeling amazing? Like, what's your main predominant feeling this morning around work, business, and life potentially, because the two things are intertwined. So I'm really interested to know kind of, yeah, how you're feeling. It's something we kind of explored yesterday in the Thrive Society. And yeah, I thought it's an interesting place to start, really, because if we're not in the right mindset or, the right thoughts, then it's quite difficult to kind of take some of the stuff that I'm going to share with you on board. But that's okay. Like, there's no right or wrong. but it's also good for me to know, like, where's everybody at? Why have you joined this training? So that might be the second bit, like, why is it that you're looking forward or have joined us for this training? So, as I said, the first key part to success in a social enterprise, and we talked about this a lot on Tuesday's training, so do go back and look at that if you haven't already watched it, which is always all about the importance of your mindset, beliefs, and thoughts, and the power that your thoughts have in kind of setting you up for the day, deciding how you're going to kind of process the day and get through it and what you're actually doing, but also those thoughts in terms of what you're able to achieve, like why you choose to do things, why you choose not to do things in your business, and how we can actually change some of those thoughts as well. Um, so if you haven't seen that training, do go back and look at it in the group. It's here, and you can just check that out because I think there's some really useful things in there. So Rose has said, really excited and feeling energized, although I recognize a kind of a roller coaster. I know I'm up and but then something happens and I go down. So I think this is really common, Rose, when we were talking about this yesterday as well. Like, it's a common thing to find ourselves going up and down with energy levels, with emotions, and that's fine. I don't think that's normal. I think it's just about like recognizing how we work in flow with that. And actually, Rose, I don't know, something that I've been recommending in the Thrive Society with my clients recently, particularly for women watching and part of this community, is Kate Northrop's book on Do Less. Because in there she talks amazingly, like, and so inspiringly about women's cycles and the importance of women recognizing that our energy levels and our, how we show up and stuff is reflected in our menstrual cycles. And it's been so eye-opening for me to recognize, I'm not really explaining it very well, but she really is explained amazingly in there, like that women operate on a different cycle. So the world is created on a daily cycle, like it was created by men, and we operate on a 24-hour clock, right? 7 days a week, etc. But actually women operate on a 28-day cycle, not on a 24-hour clock. So if for anybody that's watching, anybody in this community, um, and also what Kate talks about really, really, which I actually was really enlightening for me, was it doesn't matter where you are as a woman in terms of your menstrual cycle. So whether you're um, still menstruating, whether you've never menstruated, whether you've had a hysterectomy, whether you're postmenopausal, it doesn't matter. It's really, really incredible. So Kate Northrop's book, Do Less, really, really powerful. I listen to it on Audible because that's how I get books done these days. So do check that out. So I think that's a really useful thing as well. Dean said SOS rescues and upcycles used ground coffee from cafes and create luxurious organic small batch skincare. Definitely need to make sales in order to keep going doing this work. Brilliant. So I've created this training because I know that for many of you, something in your social enterprise isn't quite working. You're not generating the income that you want to be doing. You want to be in a position where you're thriving, sustainable, and can actually pay yourself what you want to be paid, but also deliver the work and the impact that you really want to be able to deliver. Okay. So there's something in your, social enterprise where you feel like you're struggling, that you're hitting brick walls, or there's a block, or there's something that's not quite in alignment, which means you're not getting to the point to where you want to get to. That's what I kind of work with all my clients. We work through all those struggles, as I call them. We kind of solve those problems. But I would really love to know this morning, like, why you're here. What's the particular struggle you're looking for? Dean's just shared that in terms of he really wants to make more sales in order to keep doing this work, which is really important. Like, lots of social entrepreneurs and new entrepreneurs can't, break through that kind of that point of actually generating enough income to sustain it. And that's where I want to get all of you in this community too, not only sustaining it, but really thriving, seeing a profit, seeing, if you're wanting to grow, like, or deepen your impact, that you're able to do that, be able to reinvest back into the things that you really want to be able to do, reinvest back into. So really interested to hear this morning, like, what is it specifically you're really struggling with? So even if you're watching on the replay, you can put this in and I'll kind of respond. And what would it look like to you to feel or look successful? Like, what does success look like for you? Okay, so two things there. What's the thing that's really, really struggling with right now, or that feels like a block, or maybe you don't know what it is specifically, but there's a reason that you're not kind of. So maybe it's that you just don't have enough income. You're not quite sure what the block is, but in reality there's no income coming in, and that's where And then I want you to think about, well, what does success really look like and feel like? Where do I want to be? Okay. So morning, Davey. And also, as I go through the training, which is the next bit, I would love you to ask any questions that you have about this topic, about your business, whatever you're stuck with at the moment, ask me your questions. Use this as a Q&A session. I'm here for the next 30 minutes or so. So this is your opportunity to ask me anything that's going on in your business right now. Most coaches don't do this. Most people aren't offering this available, free. You have to usually pay for my time. So if you're here live, this is your opportunity to ask me the questions that you've got in your business right now if you're looking for solutions and would like my input on it. So for Rosa, success would be to have a financially sustainable organization. Okay, Rosa, so get really specific. Like, what does that actually mean? Because that's great, but it's vague. So I want you to specifically say, and you don't have to say it here in the comments, but for you to write down on your notes, what does success as financial, so as what does a financially sustainable organization actually look like for you? Okay. Um, so I'm just going to check that. Yeah, okay, it's operating at the same speed. And by this, I mean get really specific on the numbers. So financially sustainable organization to me sounds something around the income, in terms of its, well, obviously because it's finance, but financially sustainable so that you've got money coming in every month, but you also can plan ahead so you know you've got money coming in next month and the third month and the fourth month, or you know how to get money in for those future months. That's where you start to see sustainability. So for me, in the last 5-6 months of my business, I've kind of started each next month with money already coming in, or with confirmed clients, so I know the money is going to be coming in, if that makes sense. So I'm getting to the point now in my business where I really am financially sustainable, or at least able to plan forward because I know what's coming in consistently. Yeah, Rosie, so you're saying regular income, that's great. What I'm saying is you need to be really specific. So is it 5K months? Is it that I need to have 20K in because that means I can plan for the next 6 months? What does it look like financially? And you need to work out that and know exactly what every penny is going to be spent on and why you're earning that money. The reason I say this is because unless we get really specific about the numbers and the finances, we're not really attuned to what we're trying to achieve. So we have to set a financial goal for each month or however you work. So whether it's monthly, weekly, quarterly, you need to set financial goals. But those financial goals also need to be really specific. You need to have worked them out based on why you need to earn that much money, what you're going to spend that money on, how you're going to save that money, how you're going to pay yourself. Okay, so this is really, really key part to it. Like, if you're setting your goals, brilliant, but it's not enough just to set a goal and say, well, actually I just want to have a 5K month because that'll make me feel really great and that'll sound brilliant, won't it, if I've earned 5K. Yeah, but what does that mean for your business? What does that enable you to actually do? How are you going to spend that money, or how are you going to save that money, etc.? So there's the thing. So really, really great, Rosa. Love the fact that you want to kind of have regular income, be financially sustainable, but get really specific. What does it actually look like for you in your business? Okay, 1 second, guys. I've just got to close the door. Sorry, should have done that before, but my husband's putting Rosie to sleep and I don't want to disturb them. So, Julie, good morning. Hasn't got started yet, but for many years I've been doing this work, often for free, charitable approach only. I'm excited to learn how to change that with your help. Brilliant, Julie. I'm really excited to be working with you as well. And you're not alone. Like, so many people in this space, even in the social entrepreneurship space, have so much passion and purpose and willingness to do this work for free, but then they get to a point that either burn out or they realize, actually, well, I know a lot of stuff and it's valuable stuff and people should be paying for my knowledge, experience, time. And the third thing is, if you anybody's seen the new stuff on my website and stuff, it is essential that if we're creating this new society, this new economy, we're creating transformational change, we should be the people that are being paid well. Okay, it doesn't make sense to me that we don't invest and get paid well for being the people that are transforming society and our economy. The social entrepreneur sector is and should be the normal way we do business. Fact. I know everybody in this community is on that journey with me, but we can't do that, and we can't transform society, we can't transform the economy, we can't sustain this planet if we don't have us as radical thinkers, as innovators, as change makers. But it's okay that we should be paid well for that work. Okay. So brilliant, really excited to have you here, Julie. And absolutely, no more working for free. Let's create a business that can enable you to do the incredible work that Julie does, and others in this community too. Davy said the blocks are consistent content creation for own business. Success looks like being booked out with at least 4 to 5 long-term clients with high ticket services. Fantastic. Really, really great. And I would again say, David, just kind of put some figures to that, so you're really, really specific about what does that really look like financially, like what are the numbers on that. Oh, and you say the blocks are the consistent content creation for your business, that you're struggling to create consistent content for your business. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what's the thing why is that the barrier? Or why is it the barrier? Maybe you don't know that. Like, what do you feel is stopping you from creating consistent content? And what does consistency really mean to you? I think sometimes we think consistent means, I don't know, 3 times a day, every day, never stop, just pumping stuff out there. And it doesn't necessarily, consistency doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means consistent in a way that our audience knows to expect it, is looking forward to it, is excited about seeing it. So for example, consistency. So I pay for a membership with one of my coaches, and that membership is a monthly membership, and she has 4 things that she delivers in that month. A training, a Q&A, a kind of really useful resource, and there's a third. Oh, and like a session where she'll review copy and stuff, sales copy and things, which is super, super helpful. It's like a kind of intense review kind of thing for your content. So it's 4 things. So it's not content every single day. She's not in there every day doing stuff, but it's consistent. So she tells us when that content's going to come out for the next month, and we know to expect it. It's in our calendars. We're looking forward to it. We're really, really excited. We know it's always amazing content. So my point is, it doesn't have to be bam, 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 bam content all the time. This is something I've really had to shift, because I can't create that much content all the time for my audience. Yeah, maybe in an ideal world that'd be great, but actually what my audience want, what you guys want, is to know when I'm going to show up, so that you can kind of plan that in, and kind of be expecting things. And I'm not perfect at this, by no means. I'm getting better. But I think consistency is more about like deciding when you're going to post, deciding what you're going to put out when, communicating that with your audience, and then doing that. That's consistency. So they experience that consistency, if that makes sense. Rose is saying that she thinks the barrier for her is identifying the clients that can actually afford paying for her services and training. Okay, so Rosie, Rosa, I'm glad you said this. Sorry, I just called you Rosie because that's my daughter's name, but Rosa, which was the name I really wanted to call her, but we won't go down that line. Rosa, I think this is an issue for so many people like this, and I've been talking to clients recently in the last couple of weeks about their need to increase their prices. It's one of the things I get really passionate about and really want to support clients with, because I know myself how difficult that process is when you know you need to raise your prices, but you're not quite there ready to do it for all sorts of different reasons, and you kind of need to work on your thoughts and your blocks and your beliefs around why you need your prices, but also that there absolutely are always people out there who can pay for those services. So I can't remember, Rose, off the top of my head what you're charging now or what you want to charge. Apologies for that. But I can definitely say, having spoken to you, you will need to increase your prices, and that there will be people out there. And yes, finding those people might feel scary or not possible, but that's really about where and how the content that you create, and like the kind of messaging that you put out there. When you know what your prices are and you know who your target audience is, who are going to pay those prices, you need to speak directly to those audiences. So you're not talking to you kind of, the challenge is often we get used to speaking to the people that pay our prices now, or the people that are saying that it needs to be cheaper, etc., because that feels safe and we're kind of listening into them. The biggest shift is recognizing that there absolutely are loads of people out there willing to pay the higher prices. You're just not connected to them yet, and that you need to kind of be speaking to them and learn and hear what it is that they need and want, because their needs and wants are different. Their worldview, their perspective, their values, etc., their experiences are potentially different to those people who are currently paying your lower prices. and you need to shift from talking to those people that you've been speaking to so far who say and are struggling, and moving to the people that actually are like, yeah, this is brilliant, I'd love to work with you for that price, this is a no-brainer, it's great value, that's not an issue for us. Okay, so it's just about shifting, knowing who your clients are for that new price point, really understanding what they need and talking directly to them, and spending more time with them, essentially, and spending less time with those people that can't pay those new prices. And what I mean spending time with them, like online, if you're in groups where people say, no, that's just ridiculous, we're not going to pay that, then they're not the right groups for you to be engaging in. Dean said, I don't know what I don't know. Absolutely. I haven't figured out how to monetize what I do consistently. I agree with Rosa. Finding clients is a challenge. So I would say for both of this, and this is one of the things that is shifting for me and has actually shifted quite significantly, is, and what I was talking about on Tuesday's training, is when you say, Dean, and you're not the only person, so I'm not picking on you here, everybody has said this to me this week, which is, it's really interesting how strong these thoughts are and how recurring they are. And I think I'm going to need to do something else on terms of affirmations and how we kind of change these thoughts. This is a thought. So you are telling yourself that finding clients is a challenge. Okay. Now there's one thing, that's because maybe it's not, you've not found them in the past, but you have to decide, like, this is where I draw the line in the sand. And this is where I decide finding clients is becoming easy. Okay. This is where I decide the things that I've done in the past haven't brought me those clients. So I can't keep doing those same things because that doesn't make any sense. Those things that I've tried before haven't worked. And they either haven't worked because I haven't done them properly or really gone all in, or they're just not the right things for me to attract my clients. Maybe you're not going to the places where your clients and customers are. Maybe you're not doing enough of the marketing activities, which we're going to come on to to reach those clients. Maybe you're not communicating consistently. I'm not saying these things are for you, Dean. I'm just kind of generalizing here for lots of different people, because I know you do a lot of stuff that's, your marketing is very good and I think it is very clear. But I'm just kind of raising some of the things because this is a common issue for many people. Finding clients is a challenge. First and foremost, that's a belief. It's a thought that you're having in your head that you're reiterating. It doesn't have to be a challenge. Okay. And until we decide to believe something different, we're always creating that kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. So I hope that makes sense. And it's the same thing with what Rose is saying, like identifying the clients that can actually afford paying for me. You've got to believe that those clients are out there first. When I shifted my prices from 2.5k to £3,950 for my 12-week program, it was a big shift for me to go, oh my goodness, there are actually people out there. And then when I got those first two paying clients at that price, it's like there really are people out there, and it is really easy to get this. I've just been playing small, or been playing and kind of operating with communities and individuals and people where they weren't going to pay that, they didn't have that money. But I've had to shift and kind of start communicating to those people who do have that money and not even question it. So if I'm not questioning it, they're not questioning it, and I'm connecting with it, because people see through your content. People connect to your vibe, to your energy, to the thoughts, whether you're putting those thoughts out or not. People connect to that. Okay, so if you believe in kind of this energy, the universe, um, that we're all connected in some way, and what you're putting out there, regardless of whether it's specifically saying, I'm finding it hard to find clients, you don't have to be saying that, but it will be there. If that's your thought process, that will be in the way that you're creating your content, your marketing, how you're communicating with your customers and clients. Okay. I'll give another example. So when at the start of Solutions for the Planet, we had that thing, oh, it's going to be really hard for us to kind of find corporate clients. It's going to be really hard to convince them to give us 8k at that stage. We now charge 12k, but it's going to be really hard to get 8k out of them for what we're doing. We don't really see it as tangible. We don't really see what the connection is. Obviously, all that negativity goes into the way we approach, pitch, have conversations with corporates, and it is experienced by them. They question those things. They're like, is it really tangible? What are the results? Because we're giving off those vibes. It took a quick shift. I mean, not quick, but like the actual process wasn't quick for us. But once we realized that the shift in terms of how we were getting sales was actually the way we were approaching our business and approaching our sales, which was actually, you know what? No, If we don't feel right now that our products, our service is tangible, we need to go and explore what is tangible for corporates. What is going to make them excited? How can we get excited about what we're selling for them? When we did that, our confidence grew. We're like, oh my goodness, we really do have stuff. And we can confidently go and approach and pitch. But also, we were able to kind of, be confident about the price. We increased the price quickly because we were like, you know what, 8K, we can't get excited about 8K because it doesn't actually enable us to do what we want to do. And we're still like, we win a client, we get a client at 8K, and then we're like, it's 4K too low, and actually we need 12K. So we have to increase the prices because then we can get excited. Then we can like really kind of lean into working with those clients. We can kind of give them everything, and we're not instantly when they say yes going, oh, but actually it's not enough. Okay, we create that energy and vibe. We decide how we want to show up. We decide how we kind of get in front of and communicate with our clients or customers. It doesn't matter whether you're selling products or services, it's exactly the same thing. If your thoughts are leading to your results. I will say it's not just as simple as going, okay, so today I'm going to decide that finding clients is easy and I'm going to have a client. And then by the end of the day, I haven't got a client. So cat's wrong and that thought's just ridiculous. It's not just about changing that thought. Okay. What it is about is changing that thought so it's a consistent thought. And so you start approaching and running your business differently because something has to change, right? Something's not working. We can work out what that thing is, might be multiple things. But if those things don't change, you're not going to change the number of clients and customers you get in. You're not going to change the money and income that you're getting in. You're not going to be able to change the impact that you're creating. You have to change that. And thoughts, beliefs, mindset is huge in making this shift. So hopefully that's helping. We could go in and talk about this so much more, but it wasn't the purpose of today's training. So I'm going to come back a little bit. I was asking you, if you're joining us live, welcome. Do let us know who you are, what your business is. And we've been asking kind of what things are you really struggling with at the moment? How are you feeling today? Because that's really good. We want to kind of know what's your vibe, how are you feeling, what's going on for you in your business? Why have you joined this training? What are you really hoping to get out of it? And I've also invited you to ask me any questions. This is your time to get my free advice, coaching, support. So if you've got things you're struggling with, ask me a question. This is your time. We'll be here for another 20 minutes or so. Checking there's no questions. So today I wanted to really focus on how you go from struggling social enterprise to a thriving sustainable business. This is where I want to get everybody in this community. The 700 of you, not everybody's struggling in this community. We've got some amazing social entrepreneurs in here. You're here for different reasons. But those of you that are here because you kind of really wanted to see this shift, like Dean, like Rosa, they want to increase their prices or they want to find new clients. They're struggling to find new clients. They don't know how to really kind of monetize and generate the income that they need for their business. That is not just your experience. That's lots of you in this community. I've been there too. And what I was saying, one of the things, the big things, which is why I did a whole training on Tuesday on it, is the mindset, the thoughts, the beliefs that you have. But then there's the other practical stuff, the strategy stuff, right? Which is what we're going to cover today. So you will want a notepad and a pen to take some of these things down. But the first thing I work with with my clients is really thinking about, well, it's not the first thing, it's probably the third thing. The first thing is like, where do they want to get to? What are their goals? What do they want to achieve? Kind of understanding where they're at in terms of their thoughts and their mindset and things. Thinking through like their pricing and how they're going to generate the income, like what does that actually look like theoretically in a little bit, and then we look at the strategy, like how do we actually make that happen. So this is the third thing. But it's we talk about what are the things you're doing or could be doing to actually generate income. So what are your income generating activities? So currently, I want you to list these out either on your notepad, but it'd be great if some of you wanted to put it in the comments here because it makes this whole experience a lot more interesting for everybody if I can engage with you. So in your comments, and Julie, you're completely new, but what are some of the things you think you might do to generate income in your business? So for everybody else, what are your income generating activities at the moment? What things do you do that generate you income? Okay. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I don't know because I'm not really generating any income, or I'm not generating the income at the level I want. Or I do things, but I don't know which of those things generate the income. So if you're at that point, you can say that's no problem. But that tells me that you don't really have a process and a system in your business that helps you. You don't do the things that get results, which is obviously a big thing. You need to have things that you go, I'm pretty sure that these things, that when I do them consistently, give me the results I want. They create income. So, for example, in my business, I know when I do live trainings or webinars with and have a call to action and have a specific thing at the end that I'm inviting people to take part in, I make sales. I know, but to enable that to happen, I know I need to be posting on social media, communicating via my email list, reaching out to people and building connections and nurturing people consistently in order to get people bums on seats in trainings at webinars, right? So I also know that I can actually, and I have done this, is make sales from just doing a single post. But I know that that single post isn't the only post that's meant that that person has come to me and kind of thing. It's just been the tipping point. But if I hadn't done all that consistent posting before, if I hadn't been doing my blog, if I hadn't been emailing them, if they were on my email list, I hadn't been giving the value previously, that one post that they read and they were like, right, it's time for me to work with Cat one-to-one, or it's time for me to join that course, or it's time for me to join the membership, then that wouldn't just happen with one post necessarily. It's the things that go before it that build that up as well. So I'm interested, what are your income generating activities? What are the things you do in your business that create impact for you? This is what if you don't know that, this is exactly what we talk about in the membership, in my group programs, and with my one-to-one clients. It's the things that we really need to get focused on first. And if you don't have those things, it's deciding, well, what can we try to see whether they do work? Um, and then we can adapt from there. So we try out lots of different things. So okay, Julie said, I'm still here but just about to do the school run, so I'm listening on the move, no problem, but I'm hoping to get some members or subscribers, which I've never done before. Okay, so Julie, we're talking about the step before that. So it's brilliant that you've got this idea of you're wanting to have a sort of membership, a subscription service. Fantastic, that's how you're going to generate your income. But what are the things, the activities, the kind of the marketing, etc., the activities that you're doing before to nurture people to get them into that membership? That's what we're kind of talking about. So hopefully we'll come up with some ideas for you there. David said, currently it's networking and showing up on social media to create awareness of my services. Brilliant, Davey. And are you seeing results from that? Are you getting clients or people engaging with you? Are people connecting with you? Obviously, I did that this week because I put a post out looking for somebody to help me with the podcast, and you instantly responded because you were here and active and saw that post. And also, I've seen the content that you've been putting out as well because we connected a couple of weeks ago. So, that's obviously helping in that sense, but is it helping on a bigger scale, not just with me? Because it might be that you're needing to do other things as well. Okay, I'm not saying you do, but it might be that that's not generating enough of an income for you, and there might be other ways for you to boost that, so people see more of you, if you see what I mean. More visibility is what I'm talking about. Rosa said, I would say adding a membership and maybe differentiate levels for schools, private companies, businesses. Okay, so Rosa, again, and maybe I haven't asked the question clearly enough, but it's not so much what I mean by income generating activities. This is activities in your business. It's not the actual point of sale. It's not the actual thing people are buying. What I mean is, what are you doing in your business? Like Davey had said, doing the social media, showing up, networking, building awareness, kind of putting the offers out there. Okay. Who are you connecting with? How are you communicating what you're doing? What are the things, so some people will say, and there isn't a right answer to this. Some people will say, right, webinars, that's my income generating activity. That's kind of the key thing that really works for me. I know that if I get 100 people on a webinar, I can convert, I don't think what it is now, convert 5%. Okay, so I can get 5 people in a high paying program. Or other people will say, I know that if I just email and have consistent emails out to my mailing list with loads of value, and then I have a kind of sales funnel or campaign, I know that that'll convert at X amount. They're my income generating activities. It's the things before the actual point of sale that we're talking about. So what are the things that you're doing that are generating income? Dean's been really open and honest and said definitely doesn't have processes or systems for generating income. I really appreciate you being open about that, Dean, which is hopefully, some of the things we can talk about here, but also things for you to go away and think about, like, what are the things you can be doing consistently? And I would say for everybody, like, start with one thing. Try one thing. So David's in a great place at the moment, like starting with social media, being consistent on social media, start doing that or for Davey anyway, and then decide like that's working okay or working well, I can now shift and look at the next thing. I can kind of explore what the next thing is to do. Okay, let me just, sorry, something's come up. I need to turn that message off. So, first thing is, what are the things that you're doing that are income generating activities in your business? If you don't know those things month on month, so you know exactly what you're doing, you've planned it out, you know what you need to be doing every day, that's where the confusion comes in. That's where the like lack of focus comes. That's where you're like, well, I haven't had any sales. Why haven't I had any sales? You haven't had any sales because you're not doing the activities that need to bring in the sales, and you haven't figured out in your business for your clients what things generate the income. So yeah, it's not so much the systems and processes. I mean, it can be systems and processes. It could be a sales funnel. It can be emails. It can be. It's more like, what are the things you plan to do each month that you know in time? You might not know it right now. You might have to test it out, but you know in time always bring you sales. Okay, I've started to do the things now um, that I know in my business bring me sales. When I had my last launch, every time I reached out, I sent an email, I had a conversation with somebody about the content, I did a training, I did my webinars. Every time I did those things, I had sales. Okay, it made a difference. So I know that those things in that launch work really well. They're the things that I'll do exactly the same that I can rinse and repeat. The thing is about making business simple, right? Finding the things that work and making it simple. So deciding on, and we do have to test out in the early stages, like what activities work and what activities don't. So deciding like what activities we can do that will generate the income, test out, and then keep doing them, get better at them. And then if we need to, bring in some other things. That's where the scaling comes in. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. So first thing, what are your income generating activities? If you don't know those, you can't be running a successful social enterprise. You can't be generating sustainable income because you don't have a plan every week, every month of what you actually need to be doing, rinse and repeat to be generating that income. So you need to know what those income generating activities are for you and your business. With that is, what are the specific things that you're doing to reach, connect, engage, and nurture your audience? Okay. So as a business, every business needs this. Doesn't matter what business you are, certainly in this space, you need to be building an audience. You need to be building your tribe of followers and and potential customers and customers. Okay, that's your audience, that's your space. You need to build that for your business. People need to go, people that are looking for your product or service need to be able to find you easily, need to be able to kind of connect and understand that you are the person for them, and then be like, oh my goodness, these products or services are amazing. This is exactly what I want. I'm in, I'm buying, I'm doing this. Okay. You need to build that audience. So I want to know, like, what things are you doing right now to reach, connect, engage, and nurture your audience? Now, obviously, there's a step I've missed out here because you also need to know who your audience are, right? So we do cover this in most of my programs, well, in all of the programs, in all the one-to-one stuff I do, because it's really essential. If you don't know who your audience are, you can't really have a targeted approach to reaching out to them, to connecting with them, engaging with them, and nurturing them. Okay. But that needs to be strategic in your business. You need to know what you're doing and how you're doing those things to get your audience, build your audience, and nurture them so they know, like, and trust you. Okay. The third thing then is, what's the offer? What things have you got available on offer for people? And are you clear about it? Are you clear about how it helps them, the benefits it has for them? Lots of us focus on trying to convince people that we're the expert. You don't need to convince anybody. You are the expert. Fact. Okay. You need to believe that, and then you need to communicate messages that portray that. You don't need to have all this content that wastes space trying to, like, showing all your experience, that you've done this, etc. You are the expert. People have engaged with you because they see you as the expert or the person that's got the product that they want. You don't need to convince them how amazing it is. What you need to do is tell them. They're going to be convinced when you kind of can communicate to them the benefits it's bringing to their life as a product or a service. What difference is it going to make to their life? Morning, Adri. It's great to have you here. Um, so you need to know your offer inside out. I would generally suggest people start with one offer. Obviously, that's different if you've got products, but with those product-based businesses I have worked with, I've said, especially if you're running online, is like focus on one or two products that you can really like showcase and talk a lot about for a period of time, 1 to 2 weeks, for example, or a whole month, like, and just focus on that one product. Let that product be the reason people come to your website. Let that product be the thing that sort of shines a light on your brand, that gets your messaging out there, and then when they come to your website they can check out all the other products as well that you've got. Okay, so but if you're service based and you've got an offer, like focus in on one offer, keep it simple and just talk about that offer and have a specific target audience as well for that offer. You might have different offers that speak to different audiences. So for example, this week I've been talking to you about my successful sales formula, which is specifically for coaches, consultants, or service-based businesses that are kind of selling to other businesses, B2B. That's not going to be for everybody in this course, because most people in this course aren't coaches or in this group aren't coaches or consultants. They're social entrepreneurs, business owners doing other things. But I really wanted to give something and provide something for the people in my community who are coaches and consultants. So that's very specifically for them. I talk very specifically about how it's going to help their business in it. And it's going to kind of, if a social entrepreneur who it doesn't fit for goes and looks at that sales page, they're going to go, well, this isn't really for me. It's not reading. It doesn't connect to me. That's good, right? I don't want to have the wrong people in that course. Whereas my other programs will speak specifically to social entrepreneurs at particular points in their journey and the particular type of people that I want to work with. I hope this is all resonating, guys. So three questions just for Adri's benefit, because she's just jumped on. What are your income generating activities? What are the things you're actually doing week in, week out, month in, month out to generate income? There is nothing else you need to be focusing on. If you're not generating the income in your business right now that you want to be generating, there is nothing else you need to focus on apart from how do I generate income? What are the things I need to be doing every day to generate that income? I don't I don't care what your business is, there is nothing else you need to focus on. Once you've cracked this nut, it's no longer an issue and you can do all the other things you think are important in your business. And I would love you to share in the comments anything else you think is more important than generating income activities, because I'm pretty sure there isn't anything else. The second thing for Adri's benefit is, what are you doing to reach, connect, engage, and nurture your audience? Okay, those things are also income generating activities, but they're things I think we need to get really specific about, because they're often distinct and different, and they're also different for our business, which is why I don't teach one simple strategy for you as a social entrepreneur. I'm not the coach that says this is what you need to do, this is the process you need to go in place, because that's not going to apply. All of you in this community, the 700 members, you've got all very different businesses. What I'm about as a coach is helping you find the right business model for your business, the right income generating strategies, the right things for you in the way that you want to run your business. So it's aligned to how you are, your values, the time that you've got in your business. Okay. It's going to be very different, for example, how I run my business compared to if I was working full time in it and didn't have a young family, I mean. So, we have to create business models that work for us, work for our business, work for our audience. And that's why I'm not teaching one flat model, but I am sharing some insights for you to help think how you can start to create your own business model that works for you. And the final thing then is, what is your offer? Be specific, focus on one thing if you're just starting, and make sure you're putting it out there. One of the challenges, even with my high-end clients, so those clients that work with me one-to-one, in fact, this is one of the most common things. One of the biggest challenges for them is actually just putting their offer out there consistently. So they're comfortable doing the social media, they're comfortable talking and saying all the right things to their audience, building their audience up, building those relationships, connecting with them, getting to know them, giving them loads of value for free. They're all fine with that. We're all fine with that, right? We're givers. We like to give all that stuff away for free. But then they never put their offer out there. They never say, this is my course, this is my program, this is my product, this is how much it is, come and buy it. I mean, don't say it like that, but you've got to put the price, you've got to put the details, you've got to put the benefits for them, you've got to put it out there as an offer. You can't expect people to come and find what you've got. If you're putting out free value all the time, maybe they just think it's a great free value Facebook group or Instagram channel account. That's the word. They're just grateful that you're putting that stuff out for free. But maybe they're looking for something. Maybe they're looking for that product that you've got. Maybe they're looking for that service. But if you never give it to them on a plate and say, look, this is what I've got. I've given you loads of this free value, but actually the next thing, if you want more of me, if you want some of these products that I've been talking about, here it is. This is where you go and buy it. This is where you go and get it. This is where we work further together. If you're not putting that offer out there, don't expect people to buy it because they don't know it's there. They don't know it exists. They don't know where to find it. So you have to be putting your offer out there, making it really easy for them to find it and buy it. But they also really need to know what the benefits are to them. So that's part of the kind of marketing, the communication, etc. Comments have gone a bit quiet, so I just want to know, is everybody following me? Any questions so far? What's resonating for people? Really, really interested to hear your thoughts. Just having some coffee. It does seem to take a few minutes for their comments to come through, so love to know if it's resonating, if you're just joining. Dean's doing some love hearts, thumbs up, brilliant. Okay, so hopefully it is resonating, hopefully it's making sense. Is it helping you see how you go from where you are now, which is potentially struggling, to where you are a sustainable, thriving business? Dean's writing and thinking furiously. Brilliant, Dean. Oh, that's a good thing. Rosie, yes, it's really interesting. Excellent. Is this new stuff? Is it stuff you already know? Is it just maybe stuff you've heard before, but it's really re-triggering something? It's re-engaging, re-encouraging you to try something different? Hopefully it is. So we've been going now for 45 minutes, guys. It's amazing. I wasn't expecting to go for this long. I do have to jump off because we've got the Sell to Corporates group coaching call next for those course members. So I hope that's been helpful. If anybody's got any final questions, you've got a little bit of time to put those questions in terms of from what I've been saying. But that's essentially the training. For those of you that really are ready to get to your next level, to step up, to reach those income goals, you will have heard me talk about this week my brand new program, which I'm super excited about launching. I've never really run a 6-week intensive like this before. I've never put this kind of energy and vibe into it, but I'm calling in 10 amazing female social entrepreneurs who really want to hit their goals in July and August, who really want to are fed up where they are, fed up in the struggle mode, fed up trying to try everything and not make progress, and are just ready to kind of, you know what, this is the year and this is the month that I am breaking through whatever the blocks are. I am finding the solutions and I'm starting to bring in consistent, sustainable income in my business. So I've created the Profit for Purpose program. It's a 6-week intensive. It's basically like working with me one-to-one, but as a group program. So it's 10 amazing female social entrepreneurs. If we get them all in, I'm pretty sure we will do, that we can kind of work together. There will be training and workbooks, but there'll also be a lot of time with me. So you get 2 one-to-one sessions with me privately. You get 6 weeks of weekly group coaching. You also get me access to me in Messenger, on email, to ask me throughout the week as we work through each of the kind of topics. Because I think one of the biggest things will be blocks and mindsets. Excuse me. So you're going to get so much of my time over that 6 weeks. We're going to create a really high vibe energy, and you are going to hit those and achieve those goals if you do the work. We've got a few more people joining us at the end. Hello, good morning. I'm afraid you have missed the training, but you can go and watch the replay. And we're just talking about the Profit for Purpose program, which is my 6-week intensive, which I'm really excited to be launching and would love to have so many of you in there. So if you're fed up with where you are and really want to sort of make the shift this next quarter, then this is the program for you. It's the time to start hitting those income goals. It can be easy. Going back to what Dean said before, it's just a thought that we keep telling ourselves when things aren't going right, that we can't make the money or it's difficult to find clients and customers. It's difficult to find clients and customers if we're not doing the things that are going to attract them. And if we believe it's difficult, we're making it difficult because we believe it's difficult and it has to be difficult. I'm so not about that. I'm so about making business simple so that we can enjoy it, so we can like love coming to it and want to like make a difference with it, and doing the things that, you know, they're not always going to be easy things to do for different reasons, but it can be easy to attract clients and to secure clients and bring income into our business. It is just a shift in mindset. Davey, thanks, Kat. It's reaffirming. Brilliant. Andrew said, think I know from somewhere in the back of my mind, and it helps hearing it again. It makes you think the current with the current project. Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. So you can apply it to your new program, etc. So if nobody's got any questions, then we will wrap up. I will drop a link. Bear with me before I finish, because this is the thing I always do. I tell you to kind of, you know, put your offer out there, but then I forget to share the link for you to actually go and check it out. So if you're interested, oh, and I haven't told you the price either. So, which is important, because I want to be open and transparent. So this is for people, for women, sorry guys, but it is for female social entrepreneurs who are ready to really scale up, to shift, to get through those blocks in a 6-week process, to start seeing the income they want to see. Okay, it's a brand new program, but because of the results I've got my one-to-one clients, because of the results I'm seeing in the Thrive Society membership, and my other group programs, I know that I can bring this together, bring this amazing vibe and group together to really help each other kind of step up to their next level. I would love by the end of, well, it'll be the beginning of August, to have 10 of you have really transformed your social enterprises. That's where we wanted to get. That's the vibe I'm bringing. That's why we're going all in a 6-week intensive. It's £1,000. It is an investment, but it's a much better investment than working with me one-to-one, which is the other option, which I would love. Anybody that wants to work with me one-to-one, you can message me and we can definitely check out whether we're a good fit. The Profit for Purpose program is £1,000. There is a monthly payment plan, so you can pay over 3 months at 375 to make it more affordable and achievable. And all the details are in the link if you want to go and check it out. Dean, thank you. Absolutely. I'm really glad it was helpful, and no problem. And I got to go, guys, because I've got to go and speak to my clients in the Sell to Corporate course. So if you've got any questions about the program or any questions that come up after you kind of go away and think through this training, then come back to me. Just write your questions in the comments. And if you are watching on the replay, I'd love to know your thoughts, reflections, the things that you're taking away from this. And we'll catch up soon. Okay, guys, have a brilliant end to the week, and we'll catch up next week. Bye.